Simulcast of the Neil Haley Show and celebrity interviews live from the Grotto with Greg Hanna. Greg, what's going on, man? How are you?
Hey, I'm doing amazing, Neil. How about yourself?
Fantastic. And for Mayor of Kingstown fans, we have Taylor Handley on the show. Taylor, thanks for stopping by. And you know what? I'm a huge fan of the show. I now season 3, it's every episode. You have to wait the next week after I stream the first 2 seasons. I'm like, oh, I'll just binge watch in one day. You don't do that for us, do you, Taylor?
It's so great to be here, Neil, and I am a fan of the show, and I feel your pain. I have to wait week to week to actually see what the edits are and what the cuts are and what the episodes are. In fact, I've been watching it week to week since season 1. So you actually got the better end of the deal, Neil, getting to stream seasons 1 and 2.
All right. So go ahead, Greg, with your first question.
Well, I'm really excited to get started on the show. Neil was telling me about it. I haven't had a chance. I don't get to watch all that much TV, but this is something I definitely want to, and especially with your big brother. I'm a huge fan of Jason Bourne. Jason Bourne 2 Reborn. It's great to have Jeremy Renner as your brother. So tell me, what's it like doing this type of a film, and working with like Jeremy and in the prison, all that stuff. What's that like?
Well, it's really a dream, Greg. Getting to work with not only Jeremy Renner, but working with Taylor Sheridan, as you know, who has just a stranglehold on the industry right now. Hugh Dillon, his co-creator, and all of our talented cast. It really is a dream. You show up to work, and we're just constantly getting to work on elevated material. With hard hitting, very raw type of storytelling, and we've got a great team to make sure that it all looks fantastic, and it really, really does. And so it's a dream, Greg. Thanks.
So tell me the backstory of why, because I don't want to give anything away, because I would have been mad if I'm listening to my show and knowing what's happening, and even in season 1. But why more and more is being filmed in Pittsburgh? How did that kind of develop? That backstory is an okay backstory to talk about, right?
Yeah, our first season was in Toronto, and then for reasons that are above my pay grade to know, we all moved to Pittsburgh for season 2 and season 3. And gosh, I love that town. It's fantastic. Great people, great food, great crew. It was a solid choice by the production.
Definitely, and I think it just cracks me up when you see the chase scenes and you see Kingstown PD. No, that's Pittsburgh PD, and it's just that place and that place, and then I'm like, oh, this is where it's filmed, and it's just awesome. And like I said, this is something that will leave you, Greg, on the edge of your seat each episode, right from the beginning. It hits you.
I'm looking forward to what's it streaming on.
We're on Paramount Plus.
Yeah. And then so go ahead, Greg, the next question. We want to learn a little bit more about his character.
Yeah, well, I really do. But Taylor, when you're watching a show like this, do you like feel yourself leaning more towards like, the bad guys or the good guys? In your own personal, watching a series or a film.
I think that's just again a testament to I want to say the genius of the show. The creators of the show is that the characters in the show are just very much human. There's even the good guys have bad moments, and even the bad guys have good moments. And I think that's just a really interesting take. It creates a lot of conflict. It creates a lot of drama, and those are the two best things that make a great TV show.
No, 100%. And I think I'm going to ask questions about, is it really true that the prisons inside the prisons are running the outside? Is that really a true type of story where the people inside the prison are really running the outside of crime and stuff in certain ways? That's where it really intrigued me, that I've not gotten to this depth that this show does.
Well, our creators and our writers, they do the research. And so, I have to defer to them. But as far as Kingstown goes, it is its own, living organism. And yes, what's going on inside the walls is informing what's going on outside the walls. It's about money, power, greed, corruption on all sides of the spectrum. As I said, between the good guys and the bad guys. And they're all just in this very chaotic dance to kind of keep order in a, in a disorderly town.
And what's really interesting is that that I get about this is who do you cheer for? And Greg made the greatest point. And so, Taylor, do you cheer for good guys or bad guys? I'm a big fan because I'm a former pro wrestler, going to make a comeback into the ring. I'm at 51. I like being a heel better than babyface. And your
Nice.
character goes in between a heel and a babyface, doesn't it?
Yeah, yes, and it's so fantastic to play. I mean, this is a show about Mike McCluskey and him keeping order in this town. So I'm on the, but again, it's like you follow Renner's character, and he's trying to go get some information, and the guy looks at him sideways, and he just gets a fist in the face. So who's really the good guy, who's really the bad guy? Again, it's a testament to the writers and how great they are at creating the conflict.
Taylor, obviously, besides just all the exciting drama and action, involved in the movie, there's got to be a message to some degree. And as you're involved, literally within the story itself, what is it, or what message do you want, let's say, people that are your fans or audience of the show, what message do you want them to take away from it?
Well, first and foremost, I think the best part about watching the show is the entertainment value of it. So we definitely want our audience to be entertained. We want to, we're pulling back the covers and shining the light on, the corruption that, can go on in the prison system and, all around a hypothetical town. But I think that as far as, the message that I'd like to have come through with my character is sometimes you just gotta keep your head down and just keep on going and just fight on through.
And I think your character is really, after being stuck in a prison at one point, and we won't go any further from season 2, that you really season 1, I'm sorry, I it's a blur, but basically you've gone through with showing how police officers go through PTSD, how there's really shades of gray when you're a police officer, and there's shades of gray and there's humanity in the people in the prisons. That's where you said the testament of the writers. You've drug dealers, you have kingpins, you have mafia, you have police officers, and everyone kind of stretches the rules, and you don't really know who to root for in certain ways.
You could, I mean, you nailed it right on the head. Yeah, everyone lives in the gray, and yeah, I personally, it's my favorite show on streaming. It's my favorite.
It's mine now.
Well, yeah. Not just because I'm on it, but before I got this job, I was just like, gosh, man, my goal, my dream would be to be a series regular on one of the coolest TV shows on TV. And sure enough, here comes the script right across my desk, written by Taylor Sheridan, Hugh Dillon, starring Jeremy Renner. I said, this is exactly the type of stuff that I want to be doing. And man, I was so lucky to get chosen to do it, and it's been a dream.
All right, go Greg.
Great. Well, I'm ready for my final question whenever you are.
All right, go Greg. Go with that final question. Oh, he's going to hit you on the head now. I'm the wrestler, but Greg's going to hit you on the head. So wake up, Taylor, on this question. All right, here we go.
All right, Taylor, it's been a real pleasure to meet you and to learn about the show. I can't wait to jump into myself. But let me ask you something, Taylor. What do you feel is the most important thing in life you've ever learned?
Oh man, you really are just coming out of left field with that. Keep good people around you. Have a solid, North Star, solid moral compass, and keep your nose to the grindstone. That's what I would say.
Awesome. Love it.
I love it. You know, and you did that in your career to where you are now. And I know some of the extras on Mayor of Kingstown. They're not from Pittsburgh. Uh, Shout out to Chris Hahn and shout out to Jimmy Lee, both former professional wrestlers. Jimmy's still a pro wrestler, and I was training in his gym, and he was telling me about some things I can't say yet. But this show is going to continue to go, and it's such a great show. And I don't want to give anything away, and that's the big thing. Where do you hope your character goes? Just to kind of your development of this character, playing a police officer, transitioning in different roles as a police officer. Where do you want this character to go?
Well, I know where the character goes, and that's what the season finale of this season is going to be pretty exciting. The thing that I love about this character and what the writers have done is, Kyle McCluskey starts off as a fresh-faced police officer to some degree, and then over the course of the seasons, he has to deal with one tragedy after another, and it doesn't stop this season. So I actually know where it's going. I'm excited for you to see where it's going, and this finale is really going to propel us into some great storytelling, especially for Kyle, where he will, potentially and finally have a very exciting arc where he's just goes through the meat grinder of what Kingstown is capable of doing to someone.
Oh my goodness. Well, you're keeping us in the right way on our edge of our seat and without giving it away, but everyone needs to watch Mayor of Kingstown on Paramount. On Paramount Plus. Appreciate it so much. Thanks again, Taylor, and thanks for coming on the show. Appreciate it.
Thanks for having me, guys.
All right.
Have a great
All right.
day
That
now.
was a special simulcast of the Neil Haley Show and Celebrity Interviews live from the Grotto with Greg Hanna, guys. Take care.